Welcome to this week's episode of Listen to Your Coaches. I am your coach, Mike Wilkins, here with Coach Will Morrow. And behind the scenes, we have the producer, Max Gerald. This week on the episode, we're going to recover last night's Mademen card, the 247 Grappling card, CJI 2, and other stuff that I can't see because it's not on screen. Max! UFC Paris 247. The upcoming 247 card this Saturday. We're going to have a good show. All right, ready, set, go.
I think
Coach
I'm back.
Will, recover all the Mademen fights.
Oh, man. All right, so we had the first fight of the night, which is always fun because then, theoretically, when your guy's going to fight.
Theoretically.
Theoretically, yeah.
Theoretically.
Usually, it's almost always exactly 15 minutes after a card's supposed to start. Like, that's kind of standard MMA card.
I think that makes
timing.
sense, too, for it to be. Because, fights start at 7. That means, the announcer's in there, presenting the intro of the show.
Right.
Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. People are getting settled in their
UFC
seats.
Card, main card starts at 10. That fight is they're probably ringing the first bell at 10,
exactly.
15, 10, 20.
So it was a little later this time, but that's okay. Kevin still got warm, no problem. And the fight was awesome. It was very short, but a lot happened in that short time. So
a lot did
they start cracking,
Wait, let's start earlier. So fights were scheduled to start at 7. They ended up starting a little after 7:30 with Kev as the first fight. Will wraps Kev up, and then Joao would be our next fight, and I believe he was fight 10.
Something like that. 9 or 10.
Yeah, 9 or 10, and then Dove was 4 after him, so 12, 13, right? Something along those lines. Okay, so they're they actually it's funny, for the card did not run very smooth, right? And I don't know whose fault it was or whatever. Not the biggest deal ever.
Yeah.
But they had more support staff this time than ever.
I know they had that whole security squad.
They had a whole security squad, and they were packing.
And that one dude was on point.
They were on it. They were show running it, right? And they were on it, and they were just were staging people. They were super efficient with it, So I don't know where the delay went. And we fought for Mademen 100 times.
Yeah, and they're
normally
I fought on.
I fought for Mademen,
right.
And it always runs good.
Yeah.
So I don't know why we got the late start. I don't know if maybe the doctor was late or something along those lines.
Who knows?
But it was the physicals that really held it up.
Yeah.
So the stage runners, the security guys, stage runners, they're Kevin's walking, and I'm like, no, he's not.
Yeah, that's right.
And they're like, he is. Yeah, it's still and I'm like, I promise you, he's not. Right? Because I'm wrapping Joao's hands, and I one time, and I was like, okay, I can go corner Kevin and come back and wrap Joao. I mean, we've got plenty of time. But they're like, yeah, he's gonna walk now. He's the first fight, and I'm like, listen, dude, he can't until the doctor's ringside, and there's still 6 people in line for physicals. I was like, I got time to wrap Joao's hands. Right? Yeah. So we had that, and then we went down there after the doctor went down, and then there was still a wait. But yeah, so let's get into the fight. Oh, wait, one more thing. So while I'm wrapping Joao's hands, one of the coaches on the team who's sitting next to us is like, oh, is that guy your guy, that Viking looking guy? Right? Talking about Kevin. Oh, yeah, that big dude. And I go, no. I was like, nah. I just got, Kevin, Joao, and then Dove, right? And then I realized he was talking about Kevin. He's like, oh, that real big guy. And I was like, Kevin's not real big. Kevin's regular.
I mean, he is 6'3". He probably walks at 215. He's kind of big, but
no. When you're telling me a real big guy, we don't have one on our team.
But that's what I was gonna say.
That's what I'm saying.
When someone talks to us
that
about
real big guy, I'm thinking someone like Cody Gamble.
Yeah, dude, I think 6'5", 250, just enormous.
Yeah. So I was like, no, not mine. And I was like, oh, you mean Kevin? I'm like, yeah, Kevin's on my team. Yeah, I got him. All right. So anyhow, let's get to the fight. We go out there. Will, go ahead, start it.
Yeah. So they start hucking big punches at each other, and pretty shortly after that, his opponent blasts a double leg.
A terrifically well-timed, well-executed double leg. He hit this double leg. I was like, sick.
Yeah.
I was like, great job, dude.
Yeah, it's as a fan, I really appreciate that.
I was like, that was terrific timing.
Yeah.
Great form, good execution, good takedown.
Wish you didn't do that to Kevin, but that was sick.
Yeah.
So Then Kevin just does exactly what Mike tells him and starts like posting, working his way back up. They get to standing, huck a couple more punches, and then this kid, like, I guess you would say it's a panic shot. Like, he's like, I gotta get out of this.
Yeah.
Shoots on him. Kevin stuffs it. Boom. They go back down, and then same thing. Kevin is just mind turned off, just listening to exactly what Mike's saying. Works his way to a mount, and then just starts hitting some serious ground and pound.
That's like one of the parts, like, so I have been a victim of it in the past, and I know some of our teammates. Lucas recently posted like an Instagram like reel like of his inadequate ground and pound. So what we're saying is like sometimes when you're in there and you're throwing this ground and pound, you're also maintaining a dominant position. So like you really feel like if you lose that dominant position, it's going to be a huge negative.
Which for someone who maybe has never felt that before, what tools are you using to maintain this position?
Your legs and your hips, right, is like what you're using. So your arms are free in a sense to strike, but you don't feel comfortable. Like imagine you're going to wind up to hit one of those punching machines.
This is what I'm trying to get at. Like if you're trying to hold someone down, it feels natural to like leave your chest down on them.
Yeah.
But to get good ground and pound, you have to bring your chest up. And so a lot of guys feel like they're hitting hard, but they're keeping their chest down. And
I got one more for you. So also in order to generate enough power on the power you would like to generate, you have to turn your torso.
Yes.
Right? So like if I'm going to throw a right hand, my left shoulder, like imagine I'm in mount. I want to throw a mean right hand at you, right? What's going to point at you first? My left shoulder, right? So I'm getting some torque on the torso there, and then I can bring it down. Well, anytime that you're misaligning yourself, you feel a little bit off base when you're also simultaneously trying to maintain a pin with the rest of your body. So a lot of times we throw some arm punches there that we feel like we're throwing harder, and then you watch it back and you're like, oh. I had that happen my pro debut. I remember thinking I had back control, I had him bellied out, flattened out, bellied out, and I was hammering down. So I thought. And then when I watched the fight back, I was like, my hands were only moving like a foot away from his head, right? I thought I'm like bringing them from the heavens down, right? Kevin, he succeeded.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
In throwing very hard strikes, using a lot of like power and like open rotation while maintaining his pin to do some significant ground and pound, which resulted in a first round TKO.
And it's cool because like Kevin's naturally like a relatively large, strong dude, and then when he's using like proper technique, like it was legit. The other thing that was really impressive about that is like what you just explained to the audience listening, like you've been hammering into the fight team for the past like couple months. You're just like, guys, you have to create that separation. Like we have to be ground and pounding properly here. And like, obviously having them drill that. And then to see it actually play out in a fight, fantastic.
Because like the thing with inadequate ground and pound, it's like it's not serving any purpose. You might as well not be punching.
You're just giving them openings to get up.
You're giving them possible openings in the sake of appearing busy, right? And the problem with it is sometimes you don't know. You think you're doing good, right? You don't know. As we explained, you don't know. So if the strikes aren't damaging or setting up something that is going to be damaging, they're just inadequate at that moment.
Exactly.
You're better off just holding the position and maybe working like underhooks towards a submission or something along those lines. But yeah, Kev with terrific ground and pound. And one of the things that I really liked about his ground and pound, so he got to the mount, I would say we're about halfway through the round, right? So he's got 90 seconds left, and I'm just like, Kevin, you punch until I say otherwise. And like, it's not like I'm like commanding like a certain thing, like oh, don't stop punching, which it could be perceived, and maybe even Kevin took it that way. But what I meant was, don't attempt like an armbar or something until I tell you, right? Because the attack from mount, the most likely attack that you're going to go from mount is either ideally be head and arm triangle, right? But then secondarily probably armbar, right? I don't want you to go for the arm lock too soon. It'd be better to time that like within the last 20-30 seconds of the round,
right? In case the other guy is able to get on top. Yeah,
so like you don't want to go, and then you're foregoing some of your damage that he was also creating. And then after I saw Kevin really bring in the heat, I was like, this is a TKO. Funny enough, they had us seated in the corner with a judge, like my seat directly next to me, like bumping elbows. A judge. I've never sat that close to a judge,
dude. Not only that, but like So normally the corner seats are like right next to each other and like either right up against the cage or against the apron or just back from a table, like not that far. Dude, they had the seats like this. And so one of them was like right up next to the cage, and then the seat that I was sitting in was like behind a ladder.
Bro, yeah, and those seats weren't even there. Remember, like, we came out because Kev was first fight, and we're like, yo, they were like, you're over there. I'm like, okay. Where? And they're like scrambled. And it was like, oh. So I just sat down at this table next to the judge, and Chip comes over and was like, hey, don't be giving him any shit. And I was like, oh, you know I am. I'll grab his pen. Depending on how this round goes, give me that pen. Yeah, no. But, yeah, it was cool. Yeah, good fight for Kev. All right, let's move on.
All right, next up we had Joao. So Joao took this fight on what, week and a half notice, something like that? Yeah, that's pretty badass.
Yeah.
And the opponent is someone we were no stranger to.
Yeah, John Galarza. So John now has 4 MMA fights. One in December of 2024, but he has 3 fights this year in 2025, which is impressive, and all 3 of those fights have been against us. He fought Joe Layman in March, then he fought Kyle in April, and now Joao here in August. Maybe Max next? I don't know.
We'll toss him in.
I don't know. Yeah, but no, he's a good fighter. Like I've seen.
Yes.
I've seen him fight. Obviously 3 times now. I didn't get to corner. I cornered against him twice. I didn't get to corner against him when he fought Joe because that was the same night Lucas was fighting at 247. So we had split cards.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So we had like a Morgantown crew and then a up here crew. Yeah. But he's a good fighter, he very well rounded, strikes. He can strike well, he can wrestle well, and he can grapple well. Yeah, so I thought Joao was doing a really good job striking with him. I thought he was kind of like winning the striking exchanges, although very competitive. And then Galarza caught a kick, took Joao down, landed in a really advantageous position, right? Like the takedown, like Galarza caught a left round kick, right? They were fighting open stance at this time, so meaning that Joao was southpaw, Galarza was orthodox, caught the left round kick, ran it down, and the way he ran it down was kind of like cut double finish, so he landed in a side control against the fence with a right underhook, so that fed right to a Kimura attempt, in which, he knew what he was doing. He was attacking that Kimura efficiently. He went kind of like north-south to try to bring it up. Joao correctly defended by getting his back to the mat. When you get your back to the mat, now, it's not always the right answer for Kimura, but in this instance, it was, okay? So you're like kind of like on your side, north-south-ish, Kimura's starting to be pulled out, right? Where's it going to be taken? Behind your back, okay? What if you put something behind your back?
Yeah.
So nothing can go there. Like, I don't know, the earth.
Yeah.
Right? So, Joao goes back to the mat, takes away the Kimura. Galarza elevates the elbow, goes straight arm lock. Joao's fighting it off. He's listening well. At this point in time, we're in like spiderweb position. Think EBI overtime. Joao's hands are locked. Galarza's on Joao's left arm. Yeah, left arm. Hands locked left arm because I'm trying to get Joao to walk to go from being perpendicular to getting more parallel to where he can use his right elbow, not the elbow that's being under attack while his hands are locked, to feed Galarza's body leg in between his legs. And Joao is definitely making the attempt to do that. I mean, it's just a disadvantaged position. Like, it's a tough position. Galarza eventually separates the hands, straighten the arms. Joao's trying to tough it out because the clacker had hit. So we're like, oh, there's only 10 seconds left. Like, can I wiggle to not give the break or whatever? Galarza had it straightened out, and it was to the point of a break. Unfortunately, just 2 seconds left in the round. But it was either A, tap and live to fight another day, right? Or B, don't tap, get your shit broke, and probably lose the fight because now you got to fight 2 rounds with a broken arm, and then
not fight for however long.
Yeah, exactly. So the right call there. But spoke with Joao at length after the fight. Already spoke with him this morning, right? Like through text, like talked about a plan after the fight. The kid's motivated, right? He was like, hey, what open mat this morning? You know what I mean? Also, his fight was after 10 p.m. So that means he's training within 12 hours of this fight. So, yeah. He's motivated. He's ready to make a serious comeback and get some new tools in. I would like to see him fight on the Morgantown card. So I believe that's November 22nd. So I'm going to shoot Nicole a message. I would really like Joao on that card.
Agreed.
All right, cool.
All right, Mike, break it down for us.
We going to Dove?
What happened with Dove?
All right, dude. So my man Dove. So Dove making it's his second fight. So here goes some background. Dove made his debut in May. All right, and he made his debut against a 2-0 fighter from a very established, solid gym. Mm-hmm. But we think pretty highly of Dove. Like as an 0-0 amateur, he's not that level, right? Like normally, like our guys are debuting before they're to where Dove is, right? Dove's a little further along. So he fights a 2-0 guy, and he gets a tough decision win over a guy from Adamus, which is Dante Leone's gym. Mm-hmm. Super solid gym.
Which provided one of the funniest moments in podcast history, for me at least.
What was it?
Dude, it was you. You're explaining, you're like, yeah, there's a language barrier, and I'm trying to explain the rules to him, and you're like, I was like, oh, using body language? And you're like, no. I was like, using Google Translate? And you're like, no. And I was like, what? And you're like, I was using Yinzer.
Yeah, dude. And I'm just telling him that I'm like, you can't kick him in the head. And he goes, what? Yeah, so, but he's aware that you're not allowed to kick in the head for this fight. Like, the whole camp, he knew. So, he's fighting a guy, Joey Klein. Joey Klein comes into the fight 2-1, so, you know, decent experience. Dove's 1-0. This Joey Klein kid, 6'4".
Yeah, he was real tall.
Like, super tall, right? So, let's just get to the fight. So, they start and they're throwing down, dude. They're both throwing heaters. I would say it's like fairly even, right? Like if for the first minute of the fight, it's like, dude, if the round ended right now, I'd be like, oh, dude, flip a coin. Yeah, flip a coin. So Dove pressures him to the cage, gets him in like, you know, kind of like a double leg against the cage, more body lockish, though, a little bit above the hips. Klein wraps up a guillotine, right? Dove does the exact correct thing when someone's got to stand in guillotine. He flank steps, cross body, huge lift, right? And this is where, like, I actually have a highlight of me doing this on CBS Sports. Yeah. Big lift, and then this is where you bomb them straight down, like power bomb style, right? Dove was like, nah, dog. Dove went over the back. He went backflip suplex, right? So I don't recommend it because if you powerbomb them, you're going to finish in a top side control position. If you go like suplex over the back style, looks cooler, probably does less damage, and your position that you're going to land in is more of like based off the ensuing scramble. You have to do a secondary move to end up on top. Yes, exactly. Dove does the secondary move. He ends up on top. You know, I can't quite remember. Dude, this fight was crazy. I can't quite remember what happens after that. But, like, you know, like maybe like lands a couple shots or whatever, tries to advance position. Klein gets back up. They're in a clinch. Dove just rips a throw. Like a head and arm. Right? Rips a throw, bombs him. But he's in head and arm side control, which is like or not head and arm side control, he's in like headlock side control. Like a case of Katami without the far underhook, which is not great. Right. But Dove, you know, corrects the chest. The chest starts going to mount. Klein starts working up, gets back to a guard. Dove goes left ankle lock from top, right? Doesn't drop back though. Controls the ankle from top and just starts throwing hellacious right hands down. Just bombs, right? Then Dove stands up and is just like, boom. And I'm like, dude, this is actually genius, right? Because think about it. Right, Max, you know how like we see it with some of our fighters, like when they are standing over someone in the guard, it's almost like they're more scared. I've actually talked to both, and like these guys won't mind me saying it because, you know, they've been open about it, and they're two of our best fighters, but Luke and Lucas, they're like, dude, it's like, and I'm like, dude, I get it. Like, I remember being there too, although I was never scared. I'll tell you that much. I was pumped to be there. But regardless, Dove's holding ankle lock while he's up there. Therefore, this other guy, there's only one thing he can hit you with.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of trying to like manage your way around the legs where either leg can up kick.
Right.
And he's just bringing the heat down like one, like on a pad, like boom, 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 bam.
Yeah.
Back up, boom, 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 bam. It was really good. And then Klein rolls through for his own ankle lock, and they're in like dueling ankle locks. And then Dove comes back to the top and the round ends, right? Dove landed some serious ground and pound strikes in this, okay? We go in, I got ice on Dove's neck, giving him some water. I'm like, brother, if you get the takedown, slow down. Too much of a rush. If we get to mount TKO. I was like, I promise, TKO, we're going to get to mount TKO this round. Promise, you know? We turn around, and they're like, fights off, and Dove obviously doesn't know what the hell's going on. So I'm like, you won. And he goes, what? And so I raise his hand, and he's like, ah! And he's super pumped, right? And I'm like, what happened? So I go over to the other corner, and I'm trying to like eavesdrop, like listen in. They're like checking, the doctor's like talking to him or whatever. And I'm like, man, you know, is he rung up? Is he this? And Chip, Chip is not talking to me. He's talking to somebody else, maybe the doctor or something, or maybe even like the ring announcer. And he's like, yeah, he can't focus, right? And I'm like, oh, and I'm like, did maybe one of the punches, like all legal strikes, but then maybe one of them hit him in the eye? You know, like the Aljo Ortega, where we're like, dude, that's a punch hit you in the eye, like that's life, bro. Yeah, like it's not an eye poke. Yeah, I was like, was it something like that? But after, you know, further investigation, it just like was like, I'm done with this. Yeah, which was shocking to me, because I was like, dude, I went over there and I was like saying to them, I was like, what? I was like, he's like doing good. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm like, what do you mean you're not coming out? Like this is not as bad as you think. Right. I think you think this is going worse than it actually is. Like, you're competitive here. Yeah. Like, this is a competitive fight. You know, like you lost, like yeah, Dove won that round and that kid lost that round, but it wasn't like atrocious. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
still got two more.
Yeah, the kid was in it. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like, I've seen some serious whoopings. Right. Like, you know, I'm like, you know, Dove does bring a certain level of intensity that is probably unfamiliar to this level of amateur, but I honestly thought this Joey Klein kid, like, even after the fight, I was like, this kid's good. Yeah. You know, so I don't know, maybe some like mental coaching, you know, help him like.
Could be that. Also, you know, I was thinking about this last night. It could be like there could have been some injury that he didn't want the commission to know about. You know what I mean? Like, imagine you're rung up badly and you like don't want to tell like you're the coaching commission because it's just trained into you. You know what I mean? And but you're also like, if I get touched, I'm getting like hurt bad.
Dude, I could never see it. I could never see an actual person doing that.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I was just thinking of like
Matt Wayne on that. Could you imagine being hurt bad and your rationale is like, I don't want to go get knocked out, so I'm going to like take the worst way out of a fight.
Oh, I'm not saying like I would do that. I'm just saying like, yeah, I'm just thinking like through like what could have happened, you know?
Yeah, who knows? All right, well, that was our night. Oh wait, hold on, I want to do a shout out to Street Meat Brea Clark of Daniel Gracie Grand Rapids on making her MMA debut. She won a very dominant decision. Just a quick breakdown of her fight. The first round was like kind of close because she was in a standing guillotine and then she was in a guillotine on the ground, but she did get a takedown. All the striking exchanges in the first round was just this girl like sprinting at her. So like it was like you couldn't really get like some like good striking going. In the second round, Brea had a huge double leg, and then in that round she had her opponent in a triangle choke, her opponent mounted, and had her opponent's back, and finished that round with a strangle being attempted. And then the third round was able to get a little bit of striking going, but still like nothing like crazy because the other girl was kind of like a maniac. But she ends up getting another takedown. She ends up getting reversed though. She get another takedown, gets the mount, gets reversed, is in guard, throws on another triangle, basically has a triangle on for the rest of the fight. Right. Not able to finish it, but wins a very clear decision. So congratulations to her, and you know, snap into a Slim Jim. You know what I'm saying? All right, cool. All right, let's move on from the main card. What do we got next?
Oh, we had some grappling.
Oh, yeah. So Saturday night. Oh, dude, we got to throw RAF up there. We're going to not talk about RAF.
Oh, yeah, we gotta.
Oh, my
we
God.
gotta.
All right, so anyhow, Saturday night. Let's run Saturday night. So there was a 247 grappling show. We had 3 of our athletes competing on it. We went 2-1 on the night. Johnny, say his last name. Do you know how to say it? Trincala? Yeah, so Johnny won. That's 2 super fights. You want me to be louder? But then I'm going to start breathing.
I can deal with the breathing. I just want to test something with the audio.
Because then I'm listening back to the episode and all I can hear is...
Darth Mike over there.
Yeah, dude, it's the worst. It's the only thing I can hear.
It was me. It just lined up. It synced up with you, but trust me, it was me breathing. Don't worry.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
I just want to...
Okay, this is way better.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So when you hear that heavy breathing, it could be me, it could be Max. Now we don't know. So now there's no one to blame. Okay. So yeah, Johnny, he won his match. He also won a super fight. I think I talked about it last week on the Mat Factory 15-year anniversary. So back-to-back weeks, super fight wins for Johnny. Hopefully we get him an MMA fight here soon. I'm very impressed with him and his grappling, so pretty pumped about him. Craig Moore was on the card. James told me that I didn't get to watch the matches yet, but James said that he had like a phenomenal match, but came up a little short. And then James Neely, who I was corresponding with, he won his, and he also won his match on the Mat Factory card last week. James is he's really good. He's really good. So yeah, keep an eye out for him on the circuit. He does the tackle and grapple circuit too. He's competing all the time. So keep your eyes out for James. So congratulations to all our competitors on that card. Proudians. All right. Now, I think we go RAF first. All right. So this Saturday, I was in Cleveland, Ohio at the Real American Freestyle Show. So what is Real American Freestyle? Well, it's the most recent attempt at a professional wrestling league. Okay. And when I say that, I don't mean studio wrestling. I mean like actual freestyle wrestling. One of the styles that's wrestled, on the world stage internationally and in the Olympics. There are some small rule changes for Real American Freestyle. Whereas in freestyle wrestling, it's 2 periods of 3-minute length each with a 30-second break in between them. What they did was they did 3 periods of 2-minute length. So still a 6-minute match, but 3 periods as opposed to 2. I think it might have helped actually because all 10 matches that were on the card, action was high the whole time.
I was going to say that makes sense because then you have more, you have a larger rest to work ratio, and yeah, you can get after it. Plus, you have more time then for like mid-match adjustments.
Well, also another thing is there's a thing called passivity, right? So if no one has scored in the first minute, somebody's on a shot clock, right? Now, it's actually called an activity clock, right? True name. But most people refer to it as a shot clock. Why am I making a deal about this? Well, because I was sitting with some people who were some people behind me were not as familiar, and I took that the crowd was not as familiar with freestyle wrestling as they were with folk style wrestling. Some things occurred. They were all really great about it though, right? So there was a group behind me who definitely knew folk style but didn't know freestyle, and there was a guy with them who knew freestyle, and he would respond to their questions and such. But one of the questions was about the shot clock. If 30 seconds goes by and you don't score, the opponent gets a point. And it was like, whoa, he took a shot. Why did the opponent get a point? And it's not a shot clock like you have to shoot. You have to score. Right? So like the technical name is an activity clock. We refer to it just like, what's it called? Like when you have like a pet name for it, like a slang way to say it.
It's the
as a shot
colloquial term.
Yeah, the colloquial term is shot clock. So there was some adjusting to that. And then also, what is a takedown? A takedown is slightly different in freestyle and folk style. For example, if you are aware of what a quad pod is. A quad pod is when both your hands are down and both your feet are down, but nothing else, right? In folk style wrestling, that's a takedown. If anything hits the mat other than your feet, right, and your opponent is in a controlled position, like behind you, that would be a takedown. In freestyle wrestling, a quad pod is not a takedown. You need a knee, elbow, head, something else has to hit the mat.
Hands and the feet.
Hands and feet are good, right? So there was some confusion with some people on that, but like, look how easy that is to learn.
Yeah.
Right? It's just like, oh, you need a knee. Oh, oh, that makes sense, right? Like, or that's easy to understand.
Yeah.
You know,
It is shocking how many people will watch combat sports and have like no clue what they're watching.
You figure this crowd's probably, everybody in this crowd is probably pretty invested into wrestling to be there, right? But like freestyle, like, you know, most of them are probably like,
it's an American crowd. You're used to folk
style, right? So, but
what made me think of that is at the fights, I popped out to see what fight we were on, and there was some kid who was in like bottom mount or something, and I heard this group of like teenagers behind me, and someone was like, "Oh yeah, the guy on bottom, he should be going for rib shots right now," and I was like, right on, dude." I was like, I gotta walk away.
Yeah. So I think like learning, like honestly, I think I could have you guys understanding freestyle rules to like enjoy matches within. I mean, I guess I would have to wait for things to present themselves.
If we were watching,
if we watched this card, you would leave this card being able. I could have you score like an uncontroversial match,
right?
Like something that's like nothing like too nuanced.
There's nothing that's in the weeds too much.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. So there were 10 matches. It was phenomenal. Great matches. Nolf was on the card. He had a really exciting match. He lost 10-8 to Evan Wick. Nolf's been off the scene for over a year, just doing grappling. So to see him be able to come out and go against our number 2 guy, and like honestly, like Nolf like got tired and was still like getting after him. It was sick. Nolf had like a highlight reel takedown too. Some other notables on the card: Bo Nickel beat Jacob Cardenas. Jacob Cardenas just finished his senior year at Michigan. Bo Nickel beat him 6-4. That was a good match. MMA fans may remember both Darren Caldwell, former Bellator champ, and Lance Palmer, 2-time PFL champ. They were both on the card. They did not wrestle each other. They both wrestled like new bloods, right? Like Lance Palmer wrestled Austin Gomez. Austin Gomez wrestled for Mexico in the Olympics last year, right? Darren Caldwell wrestled Real Woods. Real Woods will be representing the United States at the World Championships in 2.5 weeks, right? Like, you know what I mean? So they're wrestling like the current guys,
right? Yeah,
and like they're both like 38 years old.
Yeah,
you know, they're both retired from MMA.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So it was like old blood versus new blood, and it's like, dude, that's like
that's fun.
It's like such no, it's not.
It can
be
like, fun.
Yeah, I mean, what's gonna make it fun?
If it's close.
Yeah, how's it going to be close? That's crazy.
Was it not close?
Bro, so first off, maybe it would be better to know about like freestyle wrestling. So I guess we're seeing like some guys in their upper 30s do well in MMA, right? That's not super uncommon because how much goes into MMA, how much knowledge goes into MMA,
right.
So therefore it plays more of a factor. I mean, dude, like your wrestling, there's outliers. There's Jordan Burroughs, there was Satiev, but like most people are retired from wrestling before 30.
Yeah. It's kind of like boxing in that
These
way.
dudes, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're aged out. You just can't keep up. Like, you know what I mean?
The simpler a sport is, like boxing compared to like MMA, the lower your prime's going to be.
You know what I would consider this to? This would be like, imagine, so like, because the window's smaller, each year is worth like 3 MMA years or 2.5 MMA years or something. So imagine, give me an up-and-comer, a young up-and-comer right now who we think's like really good.
Young up-and-comer, on the spot. This is a max question.
What, in MMA?
Yeah. Like someone like early 20s. Who's like stepping into the rankings.
Raul Rosas.
Okay, Raul Rosas. You know what? Let's use Chase Hooper.
Yes.
All right, let's use Chase Hooper. All right. No, it's got to be someone even better. Someone even better.
Kavanaugh? Even though he just lost, but I don't know. I'm just thinking young guys.
No, I would say someone even more. Okay,
someone
like a
that's
young
already
John
inside
Jones.
the top 15.
Wait, let me think. Like, imagine someone who's about to fight, who's about to be top 5, right? Young guy, maybe
Jean
undefeated,
Silva? Is he
about
young?
to be top 5.
John Silva. Let's do John
Okay,
Silva.
let's do him. All right, imagine you had him, and then you were like, oh, you know what? Let me think. Who could it be? I'm trying to think of someone. And you brought out a 50-year-old, so not even current, a 50-year-old Frankie Edgar to fight him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It'd be like, yo, that's a sick fight. Frankie Edgar's a legend and all that stuff. But like, dude.
Right.
Like a 50-year-old Frankie Edgar. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what's going on with like these matches. Like, these dudes are 38.
It's like,
and Austin Gomez is probably 24. They're both probably wrestling against 24-year-olds, right? And like Palmer and like Caldwell like were like retired from wrestling. This is 2025, right? Caldwell and Palmer were both retired from wrestling at least by 2011.
Right.
You know what I mean? They've been retired for 14 years. You know? Imagine bringing a fighter out who retired And like we're talking 14 years. Imagine bringing a fighter out who retired in 2011 to fight an up and comer right now. You know, now we're talking MMA years. So actually, imagine bringing a fighter out who retired in 2001 to fight an up and comer.
What it made me think of is the Tyson Jake Paul fight. It's like I don't need to watch this.
Yeah. So, but I will give Caldwell credit. He was scoring some points.
That's sick.
Super athletic. But yeah. Those are some notable things of the RF card. I think probably the thing that is most notable is the pro wrestling tie with this. The pro, like, studio wrestling tie. So this was founded by Hulk Hogan, right, who has since passed, and his partner Eric Bischoff. I don't know if anybody who watches has followed, WWF, WWE, WCW. But they were like kind of like partners in that too. Like when the Hulk Hogan started the NWO, like Eric Bischoff was like the guy on the like kind of like the manager role, and stuff like that. Like I like was aware of it. I didn't really watch it, but I was aware of it.
You're tangentially aware of what's going on in the wrestling
like that
world.
was my era, right? Like kids on the school bus.
Right.
Like when I'm in 5th grade, like that's like a big deal on the school bus, and we're doing like wrestling matches in the back of the bus and stuff like that. So, they got together with some like wrestling people, Izzy Martinez, and others, to start this league, and they think that it can be something. So there was a match that was happening. It was going to be Kennedy Blades. Kennedy Blades is the 2024 Olympic silver medalist at 76 kilo, and she was going to take on, I can't remember the woman's name, but a woman from Mexico who's also like a senior level athlete.
Right.
Kennedy Blades is still in college though. She's best guess a junior, maybe a senior at Iowa.
Right.
So she still has NCAA eligibility. So the Mexican athlete comes out and she's standing on the mat, and then Eric Bischoff comes out and is like, unfortunately, the NCAA has blocked this match because it calls into question Kennedy's amateur status, right? Which NCAA sports are amateur sports.
Right.
Kennedy's amateur status, so it might affect her eligibility. So we had to pull this match, right? And then boom, music hits. Holly Holm comes out. Former UFC champ, former 18-time world kickboxing and boxing champ, Holly Holm walks out. Bro, they kept it a secret from everybody. I couldn't believe it. Like the whole crowd, we were just like, no. It was mind-blowing crazy that this happened, right? So Holly Holm comes out. She's going to do her first wrestling match ever, right? Against a senior level athlete. And Holly Holm's like 42.
Right.
Right? You know what I mean? So she comes out. This is a mismatch, right? Like this is a senior level athlete versus somebody who's their first wrestling match.
Right.
The girl probably thinks it's going to be like a little easier. Takes maybe like a lazier, like longer double. Holly Holm underhook, plants her to her back. 4-point takedown, feet to back takedown. Almost gets the pin. Girl's able to get off, belly out, and then starts her comeback. She hits Holly with like a nice head and arm throw. Holly rolls it through, right? Puts her on her back again. Dude. The match ended up 9-7, just like an incredible match. The whole crowd's chanting for Holly. It was sick. And then I go to get the backstory on it, right? Mm-hmm. So it turns out that they found out this match had to be pulled off. Holly took the match on 40 hours notice. Now, Holly was there. She was going to be there anyhow. Clay Guida was there. There was a lot of like MMA people were there because Izzy Martinez, the Dana White of this stuff,
right,
is their wrestling coach.
Right.
He was John Jones' wrestling coach. He's Real Woods, one of the USA athletes. He's Kennedy Blades wrestler. So he coaches prominent senior level freestyle athletes and world-class MMA fighters. So there's the crossover there. So she was just there to support the card, and they were like, hey, Holly, you want to wrestle this match? Like, how sick is that, dude?
Super
and
sick.
then they hit it whole, like, WWF style, like, twist.
Yeah.
Dude, it was
That's
epic.
awesome.
It was a great night. The crowd was good sized. I think we got something going there, and all the matches were excited and held up.
Yeah.
Like, we could watch this card together, and like you guys would be into it. The only things I heard negative was like people who watched it on the broadcast. It seemed like there was a little bit too much time between matches. Mm-hmm. In person, it didn't really feel like that.
Yeah, because when you're in an event and you're like talking with people, let me go grab a beer and like,
that's
whatever.
it too. Like running and like go to the bathroom and grabbing another beer. Yeah, and stuff like that. But yeah, so yeah, that's it. Real American Freestyle, great inaugural event. I think it'll get easier to make these cards even more like exciting because you can get better athletes. The world championships are in 2.5 weeks, and they did have 3 people on the card who are wrestling in the world championships. And I was shocked that they would do this that close to the world championships. Also, success, attracts others. There's a Russian world champion who's calling out for a match against Yanni Diakomahalis on the next RAF card. Yeah, so we can get some more of these international wrestlers in and then get some of our better wrestlers, our top tier wrestlers, when it's not directly impacting worlds and stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. I really like that the rule set's freestyle too.
I was about to say, it's cool that like freestyle is getting its moment in America.
Well, and here's the thing: if we do it at freestyle, so there's 2 other leagues going right now, and they both are wrestling folk style, right? CLA and Claw, right? One of them is using 247 Sunny Day Arena as their home. That's their home arena. The Pittsburgh team. But those are folk style,
right?
So it really makes sense. Like in the United States, like we all there's a folk style base, but like RAF, they can pull international guys.
Exactly.
Right. There was Bajrang Punia, an Indian wrestler who is a multiple-time world medalist, wrestled on the card.
That's
I'm trying to think of other foreigners. Oh, and the main
you
event.
just said that Russian champ.
Called out. Yeah. There were 2 women. It wasn't like United States versus United States in every match. It was Austin Gomez wrestles for Mexico. There were 3 Mexican athletes. Then there was an Egyptian athlete, and then an Indian athlete. So out of the 10 matches, 5 of them were United States versus an international wrestler, and the other 5 were USA versus USA. But yeah, really cool event.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, lived up to the hype, exceeded the hype in my opinion.
Dude, that makes me happy to know that freestyle is like being presented in a palatable way to the American audience.
Yep. All right, let's get on CJI too. All right, Will, you are a huge CJI supporter. How disappointed are you?
Fairly. So when we discussed this earlier, you were talking about the downsides with the quintet style. And like everything you said made total sense, but I was hoping for some like weird upsets where maybe like a little guy would tap a big guy, or you would have one big guy who would run the entire other team, or like, these outcomes that are possibilities but unlikely. And unfortunately, they were very unlikely, and you were just 100% right. It was a whole lot of stalling. It was a whole lot of draws, not a lot of like action. It wasn't the spectacle that CJI 1 was.
CJI 1 was so sick.
As much as I love CJI, what it stands for, big fan of Craig and his like trolling style and like what he stands for, kind of like anti-establishment, like trying to be for the athletes and whatever, like his messaging. Big supporter of that. CJI 2, not what I had hoped for. I watched day 1, most of it, until I fell asleep, while I was like doing other stuff, because I just like couldn't, be dialed in 100% on it. And then last night, we watched some of it while we were, waiting forever for the fights to go. And then like when I got home, I was just like, I can't.
When I did get home, I got home just in time. I watched the final.
Wait, when you say final, you mean like Craig and Chael, or the final of?
I watched that while
teams?
Driving, but then I watched the team final.
Got you.
Yeah. So just some of my thoughts. Let's start like day 1. Let's start quintet format. What I thought was going to happen, what ended up happening. How quintet format can be exciting, but was definitely a risk for this event, and it ended up like coming to fruition. First, the quintet format promotes some in spite of potentially spectacular moments where David beats a Goliath, it does promote non-action. Right. Okay. So the way it works, just to clarify quintet format, there's 5 athletes on each team. 2 athletes go against each other. If one submits the other, that guy stays in, right? And then he goes against the next guy on the team, right? If both athletes do not receive a submission, they are both eliminated. So it's basically like last man standing wins, okay? Now, what if no one gets a submission the entire time, all 5 of our guys, so we all draw out? Well, then all those matches are scored, and then it comes to like that criteria, which we will talk about because there's controversy with that criteria that resulted in the $1 million winner and the not winner. So why does this promote stalling, and boring action? Well, because a draw is incentivized, all right? Especially with the weight classes that they're using. Let's talk about the weight classes. So they used kilograms, 66, 77, 88, 99, and then 99 plus. That translates to roughly 145, 170, 195, 220, and 220 plus, all right? Those are some big spreads. Your traditional quintet format has like a weight class for the team. Like the team makes it, right?
A total limit.
Like 950 pounds for the team. So then you start to think, you're like, okay, well, let's get 3 200-pounders and then two 150 pounders. Right. Like, you know what I mean? Or, I got this big 260 guy, so we're going to need 3 150s, right? Like, you strategize around like that weight. So what ends up happening is you usually don't have that huge of size mismatches because of that. In this, we have enormous size mismatches. We have people who are giving up like over 100 pounds. So when that happens, now you go like strategically here, right? One of the best things you can do is like if you are the lesser of the person in the match, it is better for you to get a draw than to lose by submission. Therefore, there's no reason for you to open up. All right, it's actually beneficial. It's actually incentivized to not open up, to just draw this guy out. If I can eliminate Victor Hugo, that's going to be huge for our team, right? And stuff like that. So why CJI 1 was exciting is it was just about moving forward. It was about winning the match, right? Losing the match didn't matter. If you lost by decision or by submission, same result. You lost the match. So if you were losing the match, you were now incentivized to go nuts for a sub. Right? Like, let's say you were down 2 rounds. You know, you're down 20-18 going to the 3rd round. Now you're really incentivized to like go for
especially with
the
open
win.
Scoring.
Yeah, with open scoring and stuff. So I think that's why CJI 1 was so exciting and CJI 2 was kind of a bust. In CJI 2, there was a women's bracket for $100,000, a 4-woman bracket. And guess what? It was super exciting. Yeah. Great matches. You want to know why? The rule set, right? The rule set like played to it, right? There's no reason to fight for a draw, right? So like people are going out trying to win. We'll just cover that real quick. Helena Cravar, she won. She defeated Adele Fornerino in the semifinals. Adele was the reigning ADCC 55 kilogram champ and absolute champ. Sarah Galvao on the other side beat Oliveira, who she's a legend ADCC champ, and Sarah Galvao is just like she just got her black belt. She was a brown belt at Worlds this year. So was Helena Cravar actually, which is funny.
Isn't she like 17?
No, I think Helena's either 18 or 19, and Sarah is 19. So yeah. And then Helena with a Aoki lock to win in the final for the $100,000. But all 3 of those matches were some of the most exciting matches of the whole thing, you know? So credit to them and that format, all right?
Yep.
So we see and dude, it just like played out like exactly to it, right? Like there was one, Vince texted me and he was like, dude, like, you know, this format sucks when people are celebrating getting draws, right? Yeah. Like Owen Jones drawed with Kaina and Duarte, which is like, oh, we took out Atos' big gun. Right? By us having a draw. Yeah. You know? And things like that. There were some fake tap. Yeah. Allegations. I watched Giancarlo Bodoni's one against Taylor Perriman back, and I don't think it was a tap out.
I agree. It looked like he just like touched the leg.
Yeah, it looked like he like touched the leg to like push the knee away and then went to grab the ankle. He's trying to untie a leg entanglement.
And also, like, did you see his face while he was doing it? It was like just totally unchanged. Like, he's just
totally
moving.
Unchanged. Yeah, he just went and he like went like this above the knee, which would be like to open the legs a little, and then he got like a shin grip. Right after it.
And maybe it's just because like I'm not good at jiu-jitsu, but like for me, if I'm going to tap, I imagine my face is like slightly panicked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, I really don't think that was a tap.
With that said, same day, which is day 1.
Then Gio Martinez, that one looked like a tap.
Yeah, I also think that
to me,
tapped.
Yeah, it was like 2 on the knee. It was like facing away, like 2 on the knee.
Right.
So yeah, there's that. There were only 3 subs out of how many? There were 4 matches. So yeah, 4 matches, and there were only 3 subs. Now in those 4 matches, there's 5 matches per.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so like 20 matches, 3 subs. and 2 of those were like false taps.
Right.
Right. Like one was like he didn't tap. One was he tapped but claimed he didn't.
Right.
Type of thing. So not a very exciting day 1. Day 2 was a little bit better. Craig introduced a $50,000 submission bonus, which if you think about it, like that's a huge bonus for submissions.
Yeah.
Because it's like, then it's like, oh, but it's still like $1 million. Like, is it worth it? Like that 50 grand to risk the
That's
$1 million?
$1 million for the whole team.
But it's $1 million for the team. So you're imagining that each athlete's getting $200K. So that like,
and also imagine you're on a team where you're like, we're probably not going to win.
Right,
Let me
yeah.
go get my 50K.
right. So there was that. I mean, dude, you got any questions about it? Like,
Yeah, I do. So did you see what Gordon said about the final scoring?
yeah. So let's talk about the final score.
Yeah.
So in the finals, it was B team versus New Wave. All athletes. It ended up in a full draw. All athletes. There were submissions in it though. Felipe Pena submitted. Luke Griffith. No,
That was a different
that was the
matchup.
semis.
Yeah.
That was the semis. Sorry, there were no
was
submissions.
Atos.
There were no submissions in the B team versus New Wave 1. So 5 straight draws. So it goes to the judges' scorecards and they score each match, right? So like for example, who was the first match? Chris Wojcik versus Mika Galvao, I believe it was, and that was a draw. But Mika won the match 10-9, right? Second match was Victor Hugo versus Wagner Hocha, right? Victor Hugo won that 10-9. Arguably 10-8 in my opinion. Third match was
Nicky Rod.
no, he was 5th. Third match. All right, so hold on a second. So it was Ethan versus Dorian.
Okay.
And Dorian won that 10-9. That might have been the 4th match. So who's left? Giancarlo versus Joseph Chen, and Giancarlo won that 10-9. And then Nicky Rod versus Luke Griffith, and Nicky Rod won that. I thought it was a 10-9. They scored it a 10-8. But either way, it works out the same because I had Victor Hugo with a 10-8, and they had him with it, and he actually won 10-9.
Right.
And I had Nicky Rod with a 10-9, and they actually gave him a 10-8. So final score 47-47. So now you go to tie-breaking criteria, right? And the first criteria listed is number of matches. And New Wave won 3 matches, and B Team won 2.
Yeah.
You know? So that means, according to the criteria, the way that it was written, then, you know, New Wave should have won. But I guess they, like, skipped that criteria or something, and they went to the second criteria, which is the last match. Who won the last match, which was Nicky Rod, so that gave B Team the win. But, I mean, I read the criteria that the New Wave, that Gordon posted, or that New Wave people posted, that it was supposed to be most matches won, which in there New Wave won 3-2. Right. And then I also read the criteria posted by B Team coach Damian Anderson, which was the same thing. It said the same thing on the first bullet, right? And the second bullet, right? Like the first bullet, it was not tied. It was 3-2.
Right. That's interesting. Okay.
So like
because I only saw it from Gordon. I didn't realize that it came from B Team as well. So like New Wave should have won.
From the way that, I mean, like, can we pull this up? Can we get Damian Anderson's Instagram up? I think it's BJJ Damian or something.
See, so this morning I'm like catching up on things, you know what I mean? Like seeing what the results are and everything. And I see Gordon's post. And like, listen, Gordon's incredible at jiu-jitsu, but like, you know, you can't always take everything that he says to be 100% accurate.
So go down, Max. It'd be that post right there. Click that. The scores, and then scroll over.
This is
all right. So here goes the criteria. 2, judges' decisions. If 5 double eliminations occur, or any instance where each team's final athletes are double eliminated, the team with more individual wins by judges' decision wins. So what does that tell you?
That New Wave won.
Right. Now, criteria 2. If tied on scorecards, the team whose athlete won the final bout wins. If the final bout is a draw, the win goes to the team whose athletes last won a non-draw bout.
Wait a minute. So hold on. What was the final score?
47-47.
Okay. And then with New Wave winning more matches.
New Wave winning Mika, Giancarlo, Dorian.
Yeah. New Wave wins, dude.
That's the way I read it. Go back to the to the criteria here? Yeah. If 5 double eliminations occurred, or any such instance where each team's final athletes are double eliminated, Nicky Rod and Luke Griffith both double eliminated, the team with more individual wins by judge's decision wins.
See, this is interesting because these are two statements that kind of contradict each other, because they're saying, giving two instances of what happens if the scorecards are tied.
Right. So I think here goes what I read now. The first one, if 5 double eliminations occur, or any such instance where each team's final athletes are double eliminated, the team with more individual wins by judge's decision wins. Right? So I think that they weren't assuming then that would mean that one team would win like 48-47, 49-46, 50-45. They weren't anticipating a 10-8 in that wording. So that wording is poor. Right? So I think the way that they meant to word the first bullet point is like, you go to the judge's decision and then that's the scorecards, right? So like had Nicky Rod not got a 10-8, then it would have been 48-47 New Wave.
Right.
But Nicky Rod got a 10-8, so it was 47-47, and then you would go to the second criteria. But man, the way they wrote that first criteria, that's
New Wave winning, dude.
That's New Wave winning.
And I see what you're saying.
They wrote it wrong.
Yeah, they probably intended.
According to this judging, should win.
Yes.
According to what what their intention was. And I don't think it was a post-meditated intention.
Right.
I don't think they're like, let's switch it up like this. That was released before. Right? I just think it was just like the first bullet point was worded terribly.
Yeah, what they wrote in the contract was not thought out well enough to deal with a situation like this. That's really interesting. Huh. Controversial.
And like, why would you, like, the only way it could be tied on the scorecard is if
there's a 10-8.
Is if there's a 10-8, right? Because there's no, like, if 5 double eliminations occur in any such instance where each team's final athletes are double eliminated, the team with more individual wins by judge's decision wins. There's always going to be a team with more individual wins because there's 5 matches. Unless one round's a draw. So even then, actually, I mean, any way you slice it, the way that this is worded, New Wave should have won.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't mean to word it that way, but that's the way you worded it.
Dude, this is interesting. This is really interesting. Wow. I wonder how this is going to play out over the next couple of weeks. And, I don't like to say it, but I think Gordon's right.
Do you think they have, like, a case here?
Not only do they have a case, but, like, because there's so much money involved and, like, these are legal contracts, like, I wonder if they can, like, sue for
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, I 100% think they do. I mean, granted, as a non-lawyer, like, to me, what this says, like, if I was New Wave,
what do you do if you're Craig?
Troll and disappear? Like, dude, keep being Craig. Like,
yeah. I
don't think Craig, like, cares. You know what I mean? Also, you have to remember, if Craig, I forget what the interview was, but someone was like,
but that's your hero, bro.
I don't know if I'd say he's my hero, but I like the guy.
But why do you like him? Because he's for the athletes. Is that not it? Was that not the thing? He's against the establishment. He's for the athletes.
Yeah, it's 2 parts: anti-establishment and pro-athlete.
So this is going back to being for the establishment, then.
Well,
right?
This is
you're taking money out of rightful athletes.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think what Craig has to do here is either make the switch, right? New Wave's declared the winner; they get the money, or if he's like, that's just too messed up, then I think he just pays New Wave also.
I was about to say that. I think he should pay New Wave as well, but I don't think that's enough, actually, because New Wave should have won. I think he should overturn it. I think you named
New Wave the winners, but like, do you take the money off of B Team?
No, I mean, those are his guys anyway, so I think hook them up, but I think he should also pay New Wave, but I think he should officially make them the winner. I think that would be the right thing to do.
I think so too.
No, I don't think he's going to do that. And
this post is not like a doctored post. I would assume it's not a doctored post because it's being posted by the B Team, by the B Team assistant coach.
Right.
Nicky Ryan was the head coach, and then Damian Anderson was like his assistant.
So what do I think? What I think Craig should do is overturn it and pay New Wave as well. What I think Craig's going to do is put out a bunch of troll stuff, and then I think he's going to disappear. I mean, I know he'd been talking about that, but I think he actually is, because this wasn't super successful. I feel like his life's been really stressful with, like, organizing this and just, like, living the life he lives. I think he just needs to, like, take some time. You know what I mean? I think, like, I think that's what he was alluding at.
What will you think of him if he doesn't make this right?
He just disappears?
Yeah, he's just like, screw it.
Yeah, I just think that's Craig, dude. Like, that's what I expect out of him.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, I like Craig. Craig is certainly not my hero, dude. I don't expect anything like noble out of him. Like, that's his whole point. Is he's like, I'm not a role model. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, I'm just a dude. And like when people ask him, they're like, oh yeah, like why do you do this charity work? And he's like, oh, to like, you know, offset all the bad things I do too. Like, I don't view him as like some saint of jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? So I don't see him like making it right. I do see him making it entertaining though.
Yeah.
And to me, that's what really matters. I should say that's what really matters. I do think that New Wave should get paid and, you know, be named the rightful winners. Man, that's a bummer.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, CJI, that you wanted to add? Oh, how about Chael Sonnen? Let's talk about Chael Sonnen.
Oh,
yeah. What a gangster. Okay, so Chael, he's in Las Vegas Sunday night taking on Craig Jones, in which he gets buggy choked twice. But Chael is 48 years old.
Yeah, I was going to say, dude.
Right?
And he's already 0-1 against Craig.
Oh, I got to talk about this, too. Yeah, he's already 0-1 against Craig, but whatever. So here goes the thing. Do you know where Chael was Saturday night? The night before his match against Craig?
I don't. But
he was the commentator for Real American Freestyle.
Oh, sick.
He was in Cleveland with me, right? Commentating Real American Freestyle, and then caught a red eye to Vegas to go against Craig.
Wow, dude, what a great experience.
Yeah. Do you know how they got this match set up? So Gable Steveson pulled out, right? They brought, so on Flow Grappling Radio Live, they have their own podcast. I listen to it. They brought Christian Piles in. Mm-hmm. Christian Piles is the main guy on Flow Wrestling podcast. He's the original host of it. Mm-hmm. And like he's like, you know, head of content creation or something for Flow Wrestling. And he used to be, I guess when they were less, like a little bit smaller, he was the head of it for Flow Grappling and Flow Wrestling. Right. Like, you know what I mean? So he's familiar with Flow Grappling, trained a little jiu-jitsu. I remember seeing him at one of the Nogi World Championships. He's been at 2 ADCCs, like stuff like that. So they bring him on like middle show of Flow Grappling Radio Live or whatever they call their show. One of the hosts, Trey, is like, go get CP and see if we can get him to call Chael and see if Chael will do it. Because Gable just dropped out, right? The producer, like Max, leaves, goes to CP's office, gets him, brings him back to the show. They put CP on the show. He's like, what's up? They're like, will you call Chael and ask him to go against Craig? Craig doesn't know about this either, right? So CP pulls out his phone. Boom. He calls Chael. And he's like, hey, what's up? Yo, just so you know, we're live on a show, right? You're on speakerphone. And Chael's like, oh, that's good because you're live on my show, right? So like they're dueling speakerphones like on their shows. And he's like, yeah. So they start talking about the Gable thing, and they're like, Chael, would you take the match, right? And he's like, oh yeah, I'll do it. And he's like, is that what he was calling for? Yeah. And like Craig had called earlier and they had talked. I thought like he missed his call. They had talked and Craig was like, what do you think I should do or whatever? And Chael was like, well, we got on the list. Like we talked to Wyatt, but Wyatt was the main event of Real American Freestyle and he's wrestling in the World Championships in 2 weeks. Right. And then he's like, okay, maybe Anthony Cassar, Bo Nichols' teammate who beat Gable his freshman year in college. Right. And like kind of going down the list. And he was like, was he calling me out? Right? Like he goes, oh, you know what? Tell him I accept, but not only that, but I'm mad. Yeah. You know? And I was like, dude, it's so sick. And then he started dropping like all his bars. He's like, yeah, I put Gable Steveson in a headlock and gave him a noogie. And yeah, dude, like
Chael's the man.
Dude, he is the man.
He's by far the most entertaining dude in MMA, right?
Dude, like he's so cool too.
Yeah.
I just like, you know, man, I want to be friends with him.
So this actually brings up another point. Do you think that Gable pulling out was premeditated?
I do.
Do you think that Gordon maybe had his fingers
or the UFC because Craig's going against UFC, right?
Well, that's what I was going to get at. Is do you think that maybe the UFC had their fingers in that?
Well, I mean, Gable's supposed to fight on UFC Fight Pass in 2 weeks.
Right.
Friday, September 12th, he's supposed to make his debut.
But like I guess what I'm saying is,
you know that dirty boxing thing that, what's his name, who misses weight all the time?
Yeah,
Brian Battle fought on.
Yeah.
Do you know that Gable was going to be on that? And then Craig was like, "What are you doing? Like, we have this match like 2 days later."
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, he definitely had no intention of actually going through with the match. So okay, here's my question: Is one, was it premeditated? I think yes. 2, was it just Gable doing it himself? Did Gordon have any influence, or did the UFC have any influence?
I think it's all of it.
Yeah, is it's a little bit of all of it. You know what I mean? And if Gordon was involved in that, do you think that Craig is going to intentionally not help out New Wave because of the Gordon thing? Which in that case, I'm kind of like, hey, dude, you a little tit for tat. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, play the game.
Yeah. Oh, dude, you know what we didn't talk about either, too? So Craig and Mikey Musumeci were on Demetrius Johnson's Mighty Cast.
That was awesome.
Right? Did you listen to that, Max?
I didn't listen to the whole thing. I just saw a bunch of clips from it.
Okay, I listened to the whole thing.
I want to listen to the whole thing.
The whole thing. Yeah. My takeaway of it is like, so like Craig won the debate only because Mikey is slightly insufferable, and Mikey just was like dying for Craig's admiration. Like he just wanted Craig to like him so bad. Like I feel like in the debate, like if you took like
point for point,
if you read a transcript of it and you took out like all the like please like me stuff, like I think I agree with Mikey.
It's funny because we talked about this and I disagree. And I think one of the big things for me that made me think, and again, I'm coming into this very much on Craig's side. So super biased. And you know that, and you know we're going to talk about it, and you like disagreeing with me.
Well, no, I this is not to disagree with you. This is not for the sake of disagreeing with you. I definitely like, and you know, like I am not a fan of Mikey.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Right? I definitely think it's better for jiu-jitsu, you know?
Yeah, so we discussed it, and I think for me I think it all comes down to one thing, right? It comes down to the same point that Mikey kept making, which is if the UFC does what he thinks they're going to do. And in my mind, that makes for a very poor argument because one, they haven't done it yet, and two, they have a track record of not doing said things, right? So what Mikey's talking about is, can they acquire enough athletes to create a consistent amount of high quality matches, right?
Correct.
I think over time they could do that, right?
Yes.
Two, will they then pay said athletes whatever is fair, the correct amount, a high number, whatever, right? Yeah. And that is the part where I'm like, the UFC clearly does not.
One, they already do. They already pay them more than potentially more than fair, right? Mm-hmm. Craig himself, when going against ADCC, said, "I'm going to have 4 of the toughest matches to potentially win $10,000, and I have to win all 4 matches, or I can do one super fight on UFC Fight Pass and make $100,000."
Right.
So they've already done it. Like, you know, like now it's only on UFC. BJJ 2 has happened, but there was the UFC Fight Pass Invitational. There was like 12 of them, 11 of them.
Something like that, yeah.
So there's already a track record of paying.
Well, of them paying Craig that amount, I doubt that they pay some of the other guys that amount. I bet that they give them like, you know, MMA fighter style contracts.
Yeah, for sure.
Now here's the thing.
And then you know, Craig just paid, you know, the highest women's prize in jiu-jitsu this weekend, which was the same that he makes for any super fight. You know what I mean? Right? Like the UFC is paying more.
Well, I don't think that comparing CJI to UFC BJJ.
Well, that's what you were doing though when we were talking. You were like, "Oh, you know, like CJI, you could make $1 million, right?" Like I would advise everybody to go CJI.
No, that was not what my argument was. My argument was anti exclusive contracts, specifically because I don't view CJI as competition to UFC BJJ. And the other thing is that, hold on, going back to pay structure, if we look at like the UFC's monopolization of MMA, right, and because they have such a chokehold on it, they can then pay out whatever. What was the percentage we just figured out that they pay out? Like 15%, 19,
it was
like that.
Like 18 to 20.
Right, as compared to like real sports leagues where they pay out close to 50, right?
Yeah.
But we could also look at that the other way with UFC BJJ, in that the UFC might be like funding in the same way. Do you remember? You won't remember this, but do you remember when Uber like first came out and it was like, dude, for $5 you could go to California? You know what I'm talking about? Because Uber's just dumping money into it to clean up the market share. If the UFC does that, and UFC BJJ is operating at a net loss, but they're still paying their athletes out, then it's like, well, that's way more than they could make on a regular basis anywhere else. That's great. You know what I mean? So even if they do monopolize it and long term it ends up kind of like not being great for the athletes, like for the first like however many years, that's going to be awesome for them, right? Like no argument there. My thing is just that like I believe their contract should allow them to also do CJI.
So do you believe that UFC fighters should also be allowed to go do PFL?
It's a different thing.
How's that any different?
Let's say that MMA was started to be like an Olympic sport as well. Then I'd be like,
BJJ's not an Olympic sport. It's in the same exact category as MMA.
It's not, and here's why. In jiu-jitsu, how many matches could you do in a year? Super fights, whatever.
You could have 100 matches a year if you're going nuts.
How many MMA fights can you have?
10 to 12 if you're going nuts.
Right. And that's kind of the difference in my mind.
Oh man, that's just crazy to me. It's just like, you're just like unbelievably wrong.
Break it down.
Dude, you're just unbelievably wrong. Okay, so why would the UFC have an athlete and promote the athlete and use all their
promotional tools
to promote this athlete when the athlete can then go compete for PFL next month and then one the month after that and like so forth. You know what I mean? Like, it makes sense for the UFC to want to have an exclusive contract with you, right?
100%.
And I don't think it would be any different than your typical MMA contract where it's like a 4-match deal with a certain amount of time where you have to be offered a fight in a certain amount of times, you know, and like stuff like that, probably like a champions clause. My thing is like, do you think jiu-jitsu athletes would benefit for there being like a league like MMA? Why are MMA athletes making so much more money than jiu-jitsu athletes? You know what I mean? Like, there's a league for it, right? And now, like, yeah, I mean, like, it's like if any jiu-jitsu athlete would love to be in MMA shoes.
Yes.
Here goes an opportunity to be in MMA shoes.
Yeah, 100%.
You know?
I agree with you 100%.
You know?
Here's the difference. So let's say that, again, let's use the MMA example. Let's say that the Olympics started having MMA in it, which, again, that's ridiculous on a number of levels. But let's just say that they
Well, you can do more than one MMA fight in a night. You can do like 3 fights. Like, they still do tournaments all the time.
Yeah. But let's just say that MMA is in the Olympics, right? And however they structure it. It would, in my opinion, and again, I'm not a promoter. I don't like know how the ins and outs work, but I imagine that the UFC would be like, yeah, let's put our guys in the Olympics because one, they know their guys are probably going to win, right? Like, if let's say that you had an MMA Olympics right now, how many of those guys are UFC fighters? How many are PFL? How many of them are independent? Like, the majority of the guys who are going to do well are the UFC.
Yes.
Now, who gets more promotion?
Why do you think the majority of the guys who would do well would be from the UFC?
I believe that's where the best fighters are.
Thanks.
Yeah. No.
So if you give the UFC the time to do that with jiu-jitsu, right? Were all the best fighters in the UFC by UFC 2?
Probably. But no, I see what you're saying. And I'm not disagreeing with you.
We know they weren't. They were in Pride.
Oh, yeah. You're right. I'm not disagreeing with you at all about anything that you just said about the UFC. My whole point was the exclusive contracts. And again, this is my whole point is, so the UFC lets their guys go in the Olympics. Now, who benefits more from that? The Olympics or the UFC?
The Olympics. Or the UFC. The UFC, sure.
That's kind of my view on it. So let's say that CJI is like the Olympics and UFC BJJ is UFC. That's how I see it. I'm like, once a year, the UFC BJJ sends their guys.
You're comparing the CJI to the Olympics, bro?
Strictly in terms of how often it happens. Like, it's not a league that is regimented.
You know what I mean? Dude. Oh, my God. Okay. Okay. I didn't know that was your angle.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you were comparing the CJI to the Olympics. First off, someone being in the UFC, like, just being in the UFC is better than than the CJI, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, the UFC carries way more than CJI.
It's not an apples to apples comparison. But I think
you're like, oh, it's a once a year event. You know what I mean? Right? Like,
well,
that's what
once
you're saying.
a year is obviously not the same as Olympics, which once every 4 years. But I'm saying it's like, it's a one-time event. It's not an ongoing like season.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool if you let those guys participate in it.
Yeah, I don't think it's cool.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think it wouldn't make sense for the UFC, and since it wouldn't make sense for the UFC, then you lose out on the value that they can bring to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
right? You got these guys like the Tackets are moving to Vegas. You want to know why? Because the UFC is based in Vegas, and guess what they get access to now? The UFC PI. Mm-hmm. How much do you think that's worth? Imagine a regular person could pay to be a member of the UFC PI and use those services. How much would you put an evaluation of that on a month?
Oh, dude, monthly?
Monthly.
At least
over
10K.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, way more than 1,000.
Right? So now these guys get access to that like all the time.
100%.
And they're getting paid, and they're getting paid. I mean, it's in their contract, right? Like, CJI's not honoring their contracts.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
not.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so if your contract doesn't get honored, it's just gone. You know what I mean? Like, it's no different. Like, the UFC trying to be a part of jiu-jitsu is good for jiu-jitsu. That's all there is to it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no disagreements from me.
Yeah. All right. Next.
We ran out of stuff to argue about.
All right. UFC Paris. Is this interesting in the least?
Yes. Yes, it is.
There's
Is this the one?
Half of the nerds are on this
versus Kaio.
So there's the co-main and the main event are really interesting, and then there's like one more that I want to point out. You guys can look through the card and see what you like, but there's really just these two that are like super interesting.
Mike, I have a question for you. Did you see the video of Imavov? Is it Imavov or Imavov?
Either or.
Okay. Did you see the video of him wrestling with Cyril Gahn?
Yeah, I was super impressed with him. Nasruddin.
Yeah, dude.
Super impressed with his wrestling of Cyril Gahn.
Like, I knew he was a good wrestler, but when I watched that, and obviously Cyril Gahn's not like a great wrestler, but like just the size difference, and he was just working. I was like, dude, that's super sick.
Who are Imavov's losses to?
That's a good question. I have no clue.
Losses to. He's got 4, which is slightly shocking to me.
Yeah, he's got his most recent one is the short notice decision loss to Sean Strickland.
Oh, that's right.
He lost the decision to Phil Hawes in his second UFC fight.
Wow.
Which, you know, it's safe to say there's been a lot of improvement since then. And then he lost a decision back in 2017 on the regional scene, and he lost his pro debut by guillotine.
Interesting.
Huh. Who was Kaio's loss to? Not in the UFC?
Yeah, pre-UFC, because remember, the nerds were undefeated.
That's right, yeah. Until they systematically get...
Until they kicked out Prates.
Yeah, Kaio lost a decision in his second pro fight.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen in this fight, dude. I have no clue.
Dude, okay, yeah, I don't know either. I'm going to go... Oh, my God, it's tough. The Phil Hawes loss is really, like, weighing on me here.
Yeah.
Because that's not... I mean, it's long ago, but it's not that long ago.
I'm going to go Kaio because I'm a, nerds fanboy.
I'm going to go Nasruddin.
Cool.
Max is Kaio.
This is an interesting fight, though. Like this is...
No way. There's no way you're going against him.
Yeah,
no way.
Nasruddin has been like my favorite middleweight for some time now.
Yeah.
And it was tough because like this matchup is like, this is one of those matchups this year that is like so 50-50 for me. Mm-hmm. The thing that pushes me towards Imavov is for the past 3 weeks, Kaio has made weight at 185 already as a backup in Vegas or Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago.
Gone back to Brazil to continue camp. Then gone back to Paris.
The fighting nerds in Brazil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That does make sense. I don't know why I thought they were not. I thought they were in like California. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of traveling and cutting weight. Yeah. And when a fight's that 50-50,
right, that's
I lean towards Imavov now.
That's like you're thinking about it right. I'm just like, yo, Imavov beat my boy Izzy, so like don't like him a little bit. And I like the nerds, so I'm going with him. This one's interesting, dude. This one's really interesting. This is the first like real test that we're gonna see in the UFC for Rufy.
I'm going against Rufy here. Benoit Saint Denis. I do acknowledge that I feel like he is an underdog.
So this is interesting to me because BSD, obviously his strengths are like relentless wrestling, and he's got a pretty good clinch game, right? Like he's got good knees and elbows. And if he can impose that on Mauricio Rufy, I don't know what Rufy's like ground and inside clinch game looks like.
That's the thing. Like I don't know about that, but like Rufy is going to be so dangerous.
Yeah.
And it's like you got to catch this dude. You got to track him down, and that's going to be tough. But I just got this weird feeling that he's going to do it.
Again, if it was anyone else, I might agree with you, but I'm going Rufy, dude. That's my boy. Yeah. Rufy is, in my opinion, like the most entertaining striker right now in the UFC.
I think he is incredible and entertaining. But yeah, Max,
I think Rufy's going to batter him. I think it's going to look pretty ugly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could see that too. But I don't know. I think he's going to get taken down.
Oh, look who's back. Paul Craig.
Ooh.
The best guard in MMA, brother.
Who's Modestus?
He's one of those guys. I know the name, but I can't think of any fights that he's had. Oh, Zion, that's interesting. This is kind of a good card.
Pitbull's fighting already?
Wow.
This is the other one I wanted to look at here.
Dude, that's soon. He just fought.
Right.
Ige.
Yeah.
Yeah, he beat Ige.
When was that?
It was like a month or two ago.
I think it would have been on the Chicago card.
I think you're right.
That would have been 319.
I mean, he's 38, so like,
Or
get him
318.
in. Like, good for him.
Bro, he's the dog?
So have you heard about this guy?
No.
Oh.
Lucen Chieta. So he's 16-1, coming right out of Octagon MMA over in Europe, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is his UFC debut. His only loss was about a minute into a fight. He broke his foot, and they stopped the fight. He's got 10 KOs. He was the Octagon double champ at featherweight and lightweight. He's like freakishly good.
Wow.
And he hits, like, for a featherweight, he looks like he hits like when Ilya hits someone at featherweight, it looks like
Right.
that.
Interesting.
Like, he hits
Dude.
people at 145, and you're like, that looks like a
How are
welterweight.
these dudes getting to 16-1 before, like, getting a shot? Like,
Right.
how do you get that far before getting a shot?
Yeah, I don't know. That's wild.
Especially in like Europe too. Like he's African born. I think he was born in like Papua New Guinea or something. And now he's fighting in like out of like Germany and Europe. Like
Belgium says.
he has.
We know that
like,
could be wrong.
multiple markets that he's a part of.
Yeah.
You know, it's surprising it's taken this long, but I think those odds are definitely right.
So this is his UFC debut?
This is his UFC debut.
Against Pitbull. Dude, that's wild.
I will
Yeah.
be tuned into that.
Dude, that's
Where
wild.
are these fights at?
You
Paris.
won't be tuned into that because we're
Paris.
going to be busy.
But if they're in Paris, what time are they?
Probably 3.
Main card starts at 3.
Well, we're chill.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, this fight for sure.
Oh, yeah. Jonas, you might have to run practice so I can watch these fights. We'll see what's up.
You're
Ante Delia coming out of one. I think he was at some point. He was either one heavyweight champ
Bro,
or
these
somewhere
are
up there.
heavyweights. It's just like not interesting to
Yeah,
me.
the rest of the card. Is,
Tavares still fighting.
Wow.
rest of the card is.
Oh, there's
somewhat,
that Swedish
Sean
kid.
O'Bannon.
Yeah.
But the co-main, main, and then the Lusa and Chieta fight are the 3 that I'm really interested in.
Dude, yeah. There's some fun fights on this card. And Zion, too. He's one
Oh,
of
yeah.
he's one of
Ziam
the tall
pulled out.
lightweights, right?
Yeah, he fought the other tall dude.
Ziam's out of the fight.
Oh, that
What
sucks.
happened?
His grandma died last night, so
Oh, that's a bummer.
Damn, that's
he
terrible.
pulled out.
Condolences.
Doesn't hold on, who's the guy that Paul Craig knocked out with the illegal kick? What's that guy's name?
Bellato.
Doesn't he have a fight scheduled?
He might.
I
don't
swear
know.
I
Let me
saw
check.
him like on a card. Like I was like looking through cards coming up or something. I saw that he was on one. Yeah, if I was the UFC, I would give that dude the hardest fight against the lowest name guy I could find.
Give him a title
He's
shot.
he's fighting Navajo
Cosmo.
Sterling, the guy out of
dude, that's
CKB.
you know who that is? He's one of the city kickboxing guys who I saw him fight like a while back, and I was like, guys, that dude's good. I was like, he's what you want Olberg to be. Like he's athletic and like big and like actually cracks and doesn't just like sit back on a little check hook the whole time. But he's not well known yet, so that's exactly what the UFC should be doing.
Yeah, they're giving him the right treatment.
Yeah,
for sure.
Right on. Hopefully, we can see him get knocked out for real after that Oscar award winning performance.
Yeah. All right, so what fights are we making picks on?
Well, I figured right now we only have the main and co-main.
What's
Let's
up with
do-
this Mason Jones fight? Do you care about that?
I mean, I'm gonna pick against him if either of you guys are gonna pick Mason.
Who's he fighting? I don't know.
He's fighting your boy.
Who's my boy?
Okie. Okie doke.
I don't know.
Oh, God. No way I would take him. Whoa. Hold on a second. Ooh.
I would go Jones, dude.
I don't have a ton
really?
of confidence in either guy, but
I don't know a whole lot about either of them.
I would go Jones, too. I'll take
Yeah.
this fight. You want to take the other guy, Max?
all right, we'll run it. Yeah,
Run it. All right. I don't really have any.
Will, do you have Kyle or you're taking Rufy?
Yeah.
Sorry, not
Full
Kyle.
nerds. Yeah. They could be fighting pretty much anyone. I'm just really go with the nerds.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, you know what's funny is like, let's say that the nerds just like were walking down the street, right? I would like definitely want to like be like, hey, what's going on, guys? But you know who I'd be most interested to talk to?
The coach.
Yeah, dude. I don't care about them, what they have to say. I care about the coach, bro. Like,
dude.
You wouldn't want to talk to Prates?
I mean, I would like want to like just, hey, what's going on, guys?
What
Like,
would you
guys
say
are cool.
if you saw protest? What would you want to talk to him about?
I don't know. I don't smoke, but I would be like, can I have one? You know what I mean?
Would you smoke a cigarette with Carlos Prates?
I would just say I wanted to smoke a cigarette with Carlos Prates.
As cool as it might look to like smoke a cigarette, like James Dean style, you know, like whatever. Your first cigarette's not going to look cool like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's fine.
You know what makes me want to smoke cigarettes? You guys ever watch Peaky Blinders?
Yeah.
Bro, I just be like, dude, maybe we should start smoking cigarettes, dude. Like, it looks so like fun.
Oh, dude, I've always imagined like when I'm old being like kind of like a crotchety old boxing coach, having one of those little paperboy hats on and chewing on a cigar. Not ever smoking it, just chewing on it.
So we play this game on my phone called Guns Royale. Me and Mickey play it. And It's like a first person shooter, like Fortnite style, like drop-in game. And he made his character, it's like, dude looks like Jason Statham, right?
Okay, yeah.
But like his character has always got this big gun and a cigar, right?
Yeah.
So Mickey has this huge like Nerf gun, like with like a drum on it and stuff, right? And he takes a Nerf bullet and he puts it in his mouth. So the blue looks like the cigar part and the orange looks like it's lit.
Yeah.
And he just is outside with it in his mouth. Like,
That's so funny.
It's so funny, yeah.
Oh, love it.
All right. Okay. So...
All right, we got our picks in.
All right, we're set. Let's do it. All right, so Max, you have a game for us?
Yeah, do you want to shout out real quick the guys we have fighting this weekend?
Oh, shit, I didn't see that. No, I don't. This weekend at Sunny Days Arena in North Versailles, Pennsylvania, on September the 6th, fighting for Stout PGH, we have Brian Mitchell, Sean Livingston, and Anthony the Hound Dog Hojbeck. You can purchase your tickets at 247fighting.com. Please select one of our fighters as your representative. Do you have things you want to add?
You killed it.
Dude, right on, dude. Yeah. Prediction 3-0.
Agreed.
You know what? Further prediction. Hold on a second.
I thought you were going to say 2-1 or something. Just like,
Prediction.
leave it there.
Prediction 2-1. No, prediction 3-0. Scroll over. Let me see. I got to see something about Sean Livingston's fight. Do we have that? 3-0, 2 finishes.
I was about to say, I bet you were going to make
2 finishes. 3-0, 2 finishes. I think Hound Dog's going to get a finish, and I think at least one of Sean or Brian's going to get a finish. You know what? If I had to put my money on most likely finish, it's going to be Brian, actually. Brian's my most likely finish of the night.
I don't think he hasn't been out of the first round yet.
No, he hasn't been out of the first round, and he's looked, in training,
really good.
He's looked significantly better than he was in his last fight. Mm-hmm. So hold on. He debuted October of last year. Mm-hmm. As he was on Lucas's card in the trampoline park.
Yep.
He hasn't fought in 2025. And then his second fight was in December.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Because it was the week after Nogi Worlds. Because I remember he was fighting Josiah, who just fought Alex Wright. And Josiah was at Nogi Worlds. And I was like, I didn't say nothing because we were on the same flight or whatever. But I was like, you're fighting Brian next weekend. And you're here. And I'm like, pretty sure in 247 contracts, they're like, you can't do that. But like, hey,
it worked out.
I ain't no snitch. It's too late now. Too late now. Do something. All right, cool.
All right, Max.
Are you good?
I'm good.
It's on you now.
Do you want to say something about them? Would you like to shout out your teammates?
I mean, shout out the Hound Dog. He's the only one out of them that I train with a lot. So
wow, just dissing.
If he doesn't win,
he just said he doesn't care about Brian and Sean.
I'm just not a body for them. But I mean, Hound Dog's been like punching me in the face this camp, so I'm going to be disappointed if it's not worth anything.
Dude, that's
yeah, Mike predicted 3-0. Max over here said 1-2.
No. I do predict that Brian's going to get a finish though.
Conveniently, he says 1-2 after he knows that they ain't sparring Tuesday. He's like, yeah, fight last bar session was Saturday. Yeah, these guys are going 1 and 2.
Sean and Brian roll up like, yo, Max.
They're gonna jump you.
I'll deal with that later.
All right, Max, run your game.
So, let me get this out of the way here. So I told Will, very simple. Last time we did a game, we did like a Jeopardy style game.
Yeah,
which is very fun.
That was fun.
That was very fun.
Well, I figured we might not have enough time to do the Jeopardy style game, which I was right about. So we're gonna do it a little bit differently.
This is cool.
We got 10 questions here, split into either
over, under,
or true or false. Now they're not like true or false. Was this guy a champion of this year? It's more like subjective, so you have time to elaborate and kind of give your thoughts on different takes.
Okay. Love it.
That goes for both of them throughout this game here.
Understood.
Cool.
Right.
Is there a way to win?
I mean,
I'm sure we'll decide.
Whoever has the best take, I suppose, wins. So whichever one of you has the best take, I think I'll just judge that. But the way I wanted to do this was I'll read off the question, and you guys are going to come up with your answer in your head, whether it's over, under, true, false, and I'll just give you a countdown, 3, 2, 1. You guys both say your answer at the same time, and then debate amongst yourselves.
Right, yeah.
Make sense there?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I'm going to highlight this, unveil the first one here. We're starting off with an over-under. I'll put this up on the screen so people watching can see it as well here.
Cool. All right.
But first one, over under 5.5. How many MMA wins will Gable Steveson need before facing Tom Aspinall? And this is assuming Tom Aspinall remains champ.
Over. Yeah.
Don't look at me, you guys.
I think it's pretty clearly over.
Yeah, clearly over. Like, who has got title fights less than that? Brock Lesnar.
Pereira even was, I think, 6 or 7
and something like that.
At middleweight, though.
Right.
Middleweight was in a much better condition than heavyweight is in.
Yeah, but still, man, like...
I think that also, like, it going from... First off, here goes one other thing that I have to say, is they are starting Gable in LFA. Right?
Yeah.
They could have just started him in the UFC.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? So they are starting him in LFA. They could have started him on the Contender Series.
Yeah.
But they're going to run him LFA. I think they're going to give him a little faster Bo Nickel. Right?
That's...
Like, Bo Nickel fought for, I think, Jorge Masvidal's event. I believe that was... I don't even know if that might have been amateur.
He had one or two fights.
He had 2 amateur fights.
Uh-huh.
And then he had a pro debut. And then his second pro fight was Contender Series. Third pro fight, Contender Series.
Yep.
Right? And so, like, yeah, I'm going over.
Because, I mean, yeah.
So all you need is 6 fights, right? One's already done.
Right.
One's done. Or going to be,
I'd be willing to bet they do 1 or 2 fights in LFA. Then it's either going to be, at least...
I think he's doing more than 1 fight in LFA.
Uh-huh.
And then I think he's going to do a Contender Series. At least one. So that's 3. So then it's like, okay, can he get to the title after 2 UFC fights?
I think the first one will be against some scrub in the UFC. Then the second one will be to get into the rankings.
And the third one will be to get higher. Yeah, and then that takes us to 6. And I think then there's more. My best prediction, if Gable does make it to a title fight, like, and sticks with MMA and all that stuff, he will have at least 8 fights prior. He'll be at least 8-0 prior to a title fight.
And that's assuming he wins everything.
That's assuming he wins. Say that if he loses, then extend it.
Yeah, exactly. Let's say some big dude cracks him. Well, that's like probably 2 more wins then to get back to where he was. You know what I mean? So, I'm saying over.
Double over.
Yeah.
All right, question number 2.
On the second one here.
True or false?
Yeah, so this one's true or false. You can just yell it out whenever you want because I'm not going to make you wait for a countdown. But Islam beating JDM, if he does, is more impressive than Ilya having beaten Charles Oliveira.
Great question.
True.
JDM is sitting champ. So that's like, it's like...
Yeah. Not only that, I think that Oliveira is a little bit more towards the tail end of his career, where I think that JDM is more in his prime.
That and, those 2 things. Yeah, but that's a good question because I did have to think about it.
The other thing is that, like, JDM in his last fight showed that he has really good anti-wrestling, you know what I mean, in terms of, like, how he defends shots, but also how...
Where Charles Oliveira never showed that he had really good anti-not getting dropped.
Yeah, exactly. Spot on, dude. Spot on. Yeah. No notes.
Another interesting part to that I didn't know if it was going to come up or not, but how old do you think JDM is?
Dude, like 30?
27.
He's 28.
Okay.
Which is like a lot of people. In my head, partly because the way he looks, I look at him, I'm like, he's 30, 31, somewhere around
Yeah.
there.
Don't he got like kids too, like a bunch of kids, like
I got
14
no
kids,
idea.
15 kids.
JDM?
I think he has kids.
I got no idea, but
And
he just seems
nowadays, like,
younger.
if someone has kids, I just feel like you're like as soon as you have a kid, you are 30. Even if you're in your 20s and you have a kid, you're 30 now.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 3 here. This is going back to an over-under, right? Over and under 3.5, the amount of fighters currently ranked inside the welterweight top 10 who will hold the title in the future.
Under.
Ooh, can we see the rankings?
Yeah, we're going to get those pulled up for you.
Under, because Islam's not ranked at welterweight. So, yeah.
So we're looking at the welterweight top 10 here.
How many will?
I
'Cause
think
there's also guys like Leon who like he was, but I don't think he ever will again.
Yeah, no, I don't think he will. I don't think Bilal will.
Did you put it at 3.5?
I think only one of Brady and I think they're going to cannibalize each other too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm going under.
So inside the top 10, like Colby, no.
Yeah, no chance.
Cortez, no. Buckley, no. Morales, outside shot.
But
Gary,
unlikely.
outside shot. Kamaru, no. Leon, no. Shavkat,
Possibly.
the winner of Shavkat Brady. Is that fight official?
No.
Okay.
Dude, it could be Shavkat and Brady, and it's still under.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going
Islam,
under.
and Islam's going to be the next one. So, yeah. Under.
Yeah, I agree.
You're taking an early pick on Islam?
On JDM?
Islam versus JDM?
Wait, that fight's official, right?
Yeah. I'm just saying
I'm
early
taking
pick. You're taking Islam?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Is anyone not?
Me.
You taking JDM?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're so silly with your hopes and dreams.
All right.
Don't get me wrong, it's an interesting fight, but I still think Islam wins.
No, that's fine. We'll deal with it when we get there.
All right, let's go.
Looking at question number 4, though, this is back to true or false. Sean Brady is the best pure jiu-jitsu practitioner in the UFC today.
Okay.
Oh,
Do I
interesting.
believe that? Do I not? Oh, my God.
I'm trying to think who would be better.
I'm going to go. Okay, so it's like, okay, here goes the only difficulty. Like, what is pure jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, do you mean
Like, are you talking
competition
about, like-
jiu-jitsu or like...
Like, roundedness? Like, oh, how good's his guard? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how good's his, like...
Right, or...
Your definition of what pure jiu-jitsu means is going to be better than mine.
But the question is, are we talking about like MMA jiu-jitsu or like jiu-jitsu period?
Let's do
I'm
both.
definitely giving him best MMA jiu-jitsu.
I was going to say, do MMA and pure jiu-jitsu.
So,
You know, I
jiu-jitsu period...
I might say yes. He's got to win over Craig, dude.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to get
Yeah.
to.
Well, who else would be up there who's still in the UFC right now?
Well, I mean... Islam?
Buchecha.
Islam?
Yeah, Islam. Okay.
What, because he doesn't train jiu-jitsu?
Brother, he's a Sambo guy, dude. That's
Is
not
that what
jiu-jitsu.
we're saying? Is that what we're saying? But like, so like, it's like, oh, who would win in jiu-jitsu matches, right? If you took out the striking,
Dude, actually, now that I said it out loud, I think Buchecha is probably the best, right?
he's the most credentialed. I don't think that makes him the best.
It's a good point. Yeah, it's a good point. I don't know.
But yeah, Buchecha. If we're going pure, then yeah,
Yeah.
Buchecha. Yeah, he's the best.
Yeah, I would go with that. But in terms of like guys who are also good MMA fighters, it's got to be Sean Brady.
Sean Brady, yeah.
Yeah, because Buchecha is clearly not a good MMA fighter. Does that change if you include past UFC fighters for you?
Yeah, Damian Maya probably.
Yeah, he was the first
way
person
up there.
to pop into mind. What about Verdum?
Verdum for sure.
Yeah.
Trying to think of people who have done ADCC. I mean, Vinny Magalesh.
Oh, what's that guy who moved to Russia? Monson. Was he an
Jeff
ADCC
Monson?
champ?
I don't know if he won.
Okay.
But maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think who else? Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
The fact that we had to think about it for a while, though.
We're going
and
Buchecha.
Yeah.
So Buchecha is better pure BJJ practitioner.
This one's already... You going with Buchecha over him?
Yeah.
You already said him for MMA grappling, so that's one
Yeah.
thing. Okay. But next one, going back to an over-under. Over-under 2.5.
Under.
The amount of title
Oh, if he
defenses
gets
that
past
Jack
Islam.
Della gets if
my
he gets
problem
past
is I didn't
Islam.
read the whole
I'm
thing.
still going under.
Yeah, under. Yeah, because
Sean Brady.
or Shavkat.
Yeah,
You think both of them beat Jack?
I do.
I do.
You guys really don't like Jack, do you?
I love Jack.
This is crazy.
Dude, he's
I
got an
don't-
awesome style.
I don't
I
have
think
an
he's
opinion.
like, I think he's like got that kind of like Australian like attitude, which is like kind of funny and cool. Like I like his team. I like that he trains with Craig. Like I'm a big fan of Jack Della Maddalena. I just don't think that he beats Islam, nor do I think he beats Brady or Shavkat.
All right.
I think he
Same.
could beat some of those guys, but I don't think that he will.
Same.
All right.
Same.
Number 6
but
here.
different.
Looking at true and false again. Carlos Prates is the best pure Muay Thai
False.
fighter in the UFC today.
Pure Muay Thai fighter.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I'm trying to think who's better, but I'm just like,
False.
yeah, he's so one shot oriented. Now, are we saying okay? Here's some. Are we saying guys who use like a Muay Thai style and like claim Muay Thai as their style, or are we just saying like, are we using Muay
Here
Thai?
goes what I'm doing. I'm going to say false. I'm putting them all in a bracket and assuming they're all the same weight, so there's not a crazy size
Right.
advantage.
Okay, this
And
is
I'm going Alex.
interesting. I think that all same weight actually. So what I was gonna say is I think Taporia beats both of them if they're all the same weight.
But in like a Muay Thai fight, like
Yeah.
is he going
Toporia's
to
style
know? Is he
in
going to
Muay
know
Thai.
not to do anything in the first and fifth rounds? Is he going to know that? Because they're going to DQ him.
So this is actually something I've been thinking about a lot recently, right? Is like Muay Thai, in my mind, almost like now, almost means more of like the style of like this as opposed to the sport of Muay Thai. Because the sport of Muay Thai is essentially just striking, right? And then they just judge it kind of goofily, which encourages this, you know what I mean? But like if you just go out there and knock people out, it doesn't matter what your style is, you know what I mean? Like think about Deckers, you know, he just went out there
True.
and just full on Dutch kickboxing style just smash dudes, you know what I mean? So it's like if Taporia goes out there and just knocks everyone out, it doesn't matter if stylistically it doesn't look great, it doesn't matter if punches to the head don't score well and he gets body kicked 20 times. If you knock someone out, you win.
Right, but no one's going to say that Topuria has a Muay Thai style.
But that's what I'm asking you is who you're asking who has
Whose
Muay Thai,
who
claims
whose
Muay Thai.
style is a Muay Thai style?
Okay, well
ranks
now
the
we bring
best?
up another thing. Is Prates actually Muay Thai style?
Well, within Muay Thai, you have multiple styles. So would his style classify as a subfaction of Muay Thai style?
I can't believe we're talking about striking.
I would say that in
I gave you a jiu-jitsu one.
if you had to lump him in, you would say he'd maybe a Muay Famor, but like all the Muay Thai purists would be furious to hear me even say that. But he throws mostly single strikes. He's a sniper who relies on his like power.
I basically just muted him.
So I would basically argue that Carlos Prates is not even really like Muay Thai style, but is he the best of what we're gonna call that style in the UFC? No, I think that Pereira is better. I think that if we just make it like stand-up fighting, I think there's a fair amount of guys who are better.
Okay, all right.
So false.
We'll leave that right there. Yeah. Looking at question 7 now, we're going back to an over/under on this one. 3.5. The amount of fighters ranked inside the welterweight top 15 you believe Ilia Topuria could beat.
Pull it back up
Pull
again.
it up.
I'm leaning over, but I want to look
All
at
right, let's
it.
start at the top.
3.5 is our
JDM?
number. 3.5.
No. Bilal? No. Brady? No. Shavkat? No.
Really?
Leon? No.
I think
Morrow?
they-
No. Ian Gary? No. Morales? No. Buckley? No. Prates? Yes. Covington? Yes. Burns? Yes. Jeff Neal? Yes.
We're already on a top 10.
No, I thought top
Oh,
15.
top 15.
Top 15.
Top 15. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Okay.
if you want to follow the rules, you can follow the rules, or if you want to make up your own, you can make up your own.
I'm
you do
pulling
you.
CJI, bro.
I'm doing me. So I would say that he could be in the top 15. You mean top 16 because we're counting the champ, right? So 16 fighters total.
Yes. Yeah.
I would say he could beat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them.
You taking the over on that? Okay.
Hold on.
I'm also taking the over.
Wait.
You don't think he
7.
Could, you don't think he could beat Bilal?
No.
Interesting. I'm not saying that like that he would. I think he certainly could.
Do you think? Oh, that he could beat Bilal. Yeah, I think he could beat.
I
all of
might
them,
even
man.
favor him
I would not favor him.
against Bilal. Interesting.
Would you favor him against Sean Brady?
No. I would favor him against Leon.
You would favor him against Colby, right?
I have a clear line. I favor him from Prates down.
That's interesting. Yeah, okay. I would favor him from Prates down.
The Jeff Neal fight to me is interesting.
But dude, I think I think Leon's one of the easier fights for him.
Okay. It's crazy.
And I like
But
Leon.
you both say over within your own criteria for this.
100%.
Oh yeah.
You have different fighters, but we're both taking the over on that.
Yeah. I got 7,
Okay. Looking at number 8,
which is insane.
it is
Yeah,
crazy.
isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
That 45er could beat those guys.
All right, moving on to number 8. Listen to our true or false here. Alessandro Pantoja is top 4 pound for pound in the sport.
True.
Ooh, interesting. So, can you pull up pound for pound actually real quick? So where do we get to the disputes? It's basically we all think that Ilya and Islam are
Oh wow!
1
Did
and
I
2.
jump the gun on this?
Well, Mike, I'm asking you because in my opinion, Islam and Ilya are 1
1,
and
2.
or 2. Yeah. Merab, I think that's a pretty solid 3. Huh.
No, I'm going Pantoja over Marab.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
But the question is just, is he inside the top 4, right?
Yeah, you know what? Yes, true.
Then yes, he's definitely
True.
inside the top 4.
Because he's number 5 right there, and
And
I
I
see no problem with him being ahead of anybody behind him.
And I think he's better than Chimaev.
I think that and Marab. So yeah, and we only need him. We only need to think he's better than one of them.
Yeah,
So yeah, true.
true.
Okay. I agree with that. But
We haven't disagreed on any of these, have we?
I mean, the semantics of it, like
Yeah, the why, but I think the end result has
Yeah.
always been the same so far.
all right, last 2 here. We're looking at the last over under for number 9. Over under 2.5 more title defenses before Merab becomes the bantamweight GOAT.
Oh, interesting.
I don't have an answer.
Well,
for
so
that.
if he beats Corey,
True, or under.
yeah, I'm gonna go under. If he beats Corey and then he gets
Under.
one more impressive win, then yeah. How many
Yeah, I'm gonna go under.
title defenses does anyone else have? I want to say
I'm gonna have to pull that up.
How many does Cruz have?
Well, Cruz then had like a 4-year layoff while Henan Barral was the champ, while Cruz was injured all the time.
No, but I'm just saying, like, how many total do you think he had? I think it's only like 2 or 3.
Do you count WEC? I think you should.
Yeah,
I'm talking bantamweight.
Yeah,
So Dillashaw has 5, and then Cruz,
Defenses?
Barao, and Aljo all have 4 defenses. Yeah, Merab right now is sitting at 3.
3. So 2 more, and he already
He
ties.
gets 5,
He
and
would
I
tie
would say
TJ.
yeah, for sure. Then 2
Yeah.
more, he ties, and then his like path to title was way more.
Yeah,
impressive.
exactly. Definitely under.
Yeah, under. He could do it with 1, but like 2, like pretty much solidifies
Cements
it.
it.
Yeah.
All right. Last one then. This is a true or false. Holly Holm is a top 3 women's combat sport athlete of all time.
False.
Top 3. So, oh my gosh,
So you got to go Kayla, right?
I gotta go Kayla.
Then you got to go Nunez
Why?
because she was a champ and like extremely dominant.
I'm gonna
relative
go.
to Holly.
All right. So I don't think you got to go Nunez, but go ahead. But that
I'm not necessarily saying in order. I'm just like listing out girls who I think have had better careers. And then I would also probably put Valentina above her and potentially even Wei Lee.
I'm gonna go true. She's top. She's number 2.
Interesting. You put her right behind Kayla?
Yeah, just because like when I think about like combat sport athlete, like we're not talking MMA fighter. It's specifically it actually specifically matters what you've done outside of MMA.
That's
to
a good
this
point.
list.
Yeah, because she was also a
Or else
boxing
it's just
champ.
it's just MMA
Yeah.
fighter. She was also a kickboxing champ
Right.
and a boxing champ
Ooh,
and
that's
senior level
interesting.
wrestler.
Forgot about that.
Yeah.
But so then you also include
Right? Like you can't like the point of this, I think, is to talk about, or else you would just say MMA fighter.
Right. No. That's a good point. So then also we need to ask ourselves, because I don't know the answer to this, but like whose kickboxing and or boxing championships were more prestigious, Joanna and Valentina's or Holly Holmes? Because there's like a bunch of different like.
I would go Holly Holm, even though I don't know anything about their kickboxing championships. Holly Holm has boxing too.
Exactly.
So she's a 3-sport world champion, which is arguably pushing Kayla, who's only a 2-sport world champion. However, I believe judo,
the gold medal, I think outdoes.
And there's 2 of them.
Right. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Kayla's firmly in number 1, right?
For my money, Kayla's firmly number 1, and Holly's actually number 2.
Now, where do you put somebody like a Clarissa Shields, who's won like a bunch of different titles at different weight classes, but only in one sport?
Not on the list, because you need to be multi-sport. Now, she does have MMA fights.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
For the PFL. But, like, this is combat sports.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's just however you want to interpret it. Like, it could be somebody in just a sole combat sport, right? You could be like, oh, is Clarissa Shields a better boxer than Kayla Harrison was a judoka? Right? Like, you could like do it like that for the sake of the argument.
But in my opinion, it's more impressive.
I'm using it because I think the root of this question probably stems off of the Kayla Harrison Henry Cejudo, like the criteria that we have traditionally used for them, which is like, oh, he's a 2-sport champ.
Right. The variety of sports weighs higher than dominance in one sport.
And then we have that with like Alex, 2-sport champ. Izzy, 2-sport champ.
Yep.
But Holly, she's a 3-sport champ.
And like you said, she also has now competed in wrestling, and I'm sure she's done some jiu-jitsu stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's interesting. Okay, I didn't think of it that way, but you might be pulling me over. Are there any super high-level female wrestlers who have also then done like judo or MMA or boxing or anything else?
Sarah McMahon. She just was an Olympic silver and then lost to Ronda for the title.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I was going to say, are we going to talk
Helen Maroulis? She's Olympic champ, 2-time Olympic bronze. So that's 3 Olympics.
What about that Japanese lady?
5 or more time world champ, and she's also an IBJJF blue belt world champ. I mean, that's like,
right, but
to be funny there.
But what's that Japanese lady, the wrestler?
Sorry, Yoshida.
Yeah. Would you say she's the most dominant female combat sports athlete? Period.
Yeah. I mean, to my knowledge,
it was what, like 20 years her run?
16.
Dude, that's so nuts.
16 years in a row.
How many worlds and Olympic medals she got?
So Olympics, she got 3. She won 04, 08, 12, and then a silver in 16. So 4 Olympic medals, one of them being a silver, and then every worlds in the interim for 16 years. Dude, she went on a 16-year streak of being the champion for 16 years straight. There was another one, Ocho, who was on the same streak as her. And actually, did Ocho win a 4th Olympic? But she has less world titles because she took years off to have kids.
Got you. See, now we're asking the question, does that level and that duration of dominance overcome variety of sport? Because now I'm like, that's pretty impressive.
It does.
Yeah, I might put her in the top 3.
Yeah, if we're changing like the criteria of the question, she's probably gonna be number 1.
Interesting. I would still put Kayla number 1 because I value that variety a fair amount. I don't know, dude. 16 years is pretty nuts.
16 years, bro. That's insane.
I mean, do you think it's possible to be so dominant in one sport that it moves you higher up on the GOAT rankings for all of combat sports? I think so.
Yeah.
The question is, especially like, at a sport too that's like
worldwide.
Think about this too. Like, okay, like, big Holly Holm fan here, or Clarissa Shields fan, but Clarissa Shields, Holly Holm, they have boxing world titles, but there's other world champs, right? And like Clarissa probably has eventually got them all,
right?
You know what I mean? Imagine having to do that for 16 years straight, right? Like in wrestling, like that's it. It's just one person is it at the end of the year. Like that's it. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's not like, oh well, here's the UFC champ, but here's the PFL champ, and here's the one FC champ.
Right.
It's just this.
Yeah, that's really impressive.
At a sport that's also more accessible.
Exactly.
Like in order to win a boxing title, you have to, like, you can't do it in 1 year. You know what I mean? It's like a career accumulation, right?
Yeah.
Like no one can come in and have their first boxing fight this year and then win a world title this year.
Right.
For pros.
Right.
You know what I mean? I guess you quit in amateur boxing, though. It runs the same way as wrestling does.
Well, I get, okay, just to play devil's
right?
advocate.
Is there not world championships in amateur boxing?
Yeah.
Like, for example, if you win the USA Boxing Nationals, are you not on Team USA and then you go to wherever the hell the world championships
Right.
are?
Well,
so you could, theoretically. Like, that's what I like about wrestling. It's literally open to anybody. Like, if Max wants to be the 2026 65 kilogram world champion, he has the opportunity to do so.
Right.
In April, he can show up to the US Open. He can win that. Then he can win the spot at Final X. And then he goes to Worlds and he can win that.
Yeah, dude, that's so nuts.
Yeah.
Okay, so in no order, in your top three, let's make it our top three because I'm on board with you. It's that Japanese. What's her name again?
Please forgive potential.
If it's close enough that someone could Google it.
Sari Yoshida.
Sari, I assume, something like that.
You guys got me out here looking up stuff on my phone. All right, hold on a second.
But okay, so
I'll be upset if I don't have. Sorry.
So she's in the top three. Then we're putting Kayla in the top three, and then who else are you going to put in that top spot? Is that going to be Holly or is that going to be somebody else?
I was going to ask what that number 3 spot would be if you guys agreed, or at least Mike was saying that it was Kayla and then Holly.
Okay, so yeah, Sari Yoshida. I'm pretty pumped about how good I did. The English language, if you were gonna search her, it'd be Saori, and then Yoshida. Like, yeah, spelled pretty.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah, she won gold in 04, 08, 12, and silver in 16. As I said, she also won the world championships in 02, 03, 05, 06, 07, 08, 09, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Bro, that's so nuts.
So she's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13-time world champ and 3-time Olympic champ. So 6 times, 16 times champ, 1 time silver.
Dude. That's so nuts. That's so nuts.
It says here too that she was from 1998 to 2016. She was undefeated.
Dude, that's so crazy. All right, she's in the top 3 for sure. So we've got her in the top 3.
That means she would have been the Olympic champ in 2000. But guess why she wasn't the Olympic champ in 2000?
No female wrestling.
No female wrestling.
Interesting.
Wasn't there.
Okay, so she's top 3. We're saying Kayla's top 3. Are we giving Holly that 3rd spot, or can you think of anyone else?
No, I'm not putting her in this. The way our definition of combat sports athlete is multiple combat sports.
Oh, you're saying like definitionally they have to have done.
That's
multiple.
the definition that we're using for this question.
Okay,
was what I was doing.
Right.
And then we were just having fun talking about, well, if we switch the definition a little bit, then Sari Yoshida would be my number 1, and then honestly, Ocho would be my number 2, and then Kayla Harrison would be 3.
Interesting.
So, given the criteria that we're using for this question, who would be your number 3?
Dude, you might have convinced me. Holly's in there then.
Who would be my number 3? Probably Valentina.
Yeah, she's a kickboxing champ, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Muay Thai. I don't know if she did kickboxing. I know she did Muay Thai though.
Interesting. Okay.
I also, if you're a kickboxing and Muay Thai, I count that as the same thing.
It's close enough.
Yeah. Right. It's like, nah, we're splitting hairs here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like someone's like, oh, they're a wrestling champ, and the other dude's like, no, it's a freestyle wrestling champ. I was like, shut up, dude. It doesn't matter. Okay, so yeah, I think we both agree. Then true.
True.
All right, I'm gonna say Mike won because he just seemed like he wanted to win more. You know.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Victory for me. Love it. Yeah, I'd like to thank specifically Sari Yoshida for giving me the ammunition to really make it look like I knew what I was talking about. And then also Wikipedia for fact checking me and confirming that I knew what I was talking about.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Yeah.
Right on.
All right, guys, that's it. Got to wrap it up. That's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode of Listen to Your Coaches. Follow us on our TikTok, our X, Facebook, and Instagram. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're on Spotify as well. Leave some comments. Do all the good stuff that's going to help the podcast grow and help us keep having fun and doing more cool stuff like behind-the-scenes vlogs at fights. Hey, are we vlogging? We vlogging this one?
That's up to you guys.
247? No, it's not. It's up to you.
The answer is yes. From
I literally,
Yeah.
The only extra work I have to do is clip a mic on and then
That's true.
watch my language, kind of.
Yeah, I'll know within 24 hours if we're vlogging this.
All right, so
get that taken care of.
I'd say we're probably vlogging. What's it rely on?
I just didn't know that was in the cards for this weekend. I need to make sure I don't have any other plans that it's gonna fuck with, but it's purely my memory.
For sure, yeah. So we may or may not be vlogging this weekend, pending Max's social life. He's gonna take a run at his calendar, and we'll see. If we vlog, it'll be cool. It'll probably be fun. Everybody will like it, as they did the last one. Make sure you wear something cool, because we will be on TV. Yeah, that's it. All right, catch you next time. Peace.